Hello and welcome to another video with Average Guy's Garage. Well, today we're going to be assembling the Harbor Freight 1-ton folding shop crane. The SKU number right there is 69512, and with a 25% off coupon. These are relatively affordable. Since we've got the transmission out of the Toyota we've been working on, we have a series of videos about replacing the transmission in the 2000 Corolla. But today, let's assemble this shop crane, see if it's easy or hard to put together, what tools are needed. Now, when you buy it, it weighs about 53.5 kilograms. So that's about 117 or 18 pounds. And this one is, with the box, 16 kilograms, which is about 35 pounds. So let's see what's in the boxes. Okay, box one has the majority of the pieces for the crane, the main bar, the legs, the hydraulics, the wheels. It has a chain with the hook on the end. And then the second box has basically this part, and then some instructions and box of hardware. So let's open up these instructions, see what step one is. Okay, I've opened up the box with the hardware, and we've got the bolts and some bolts for the casters. Step one on the instructions is to attach casters, 4 casters, to each of these 4 areas on this piece right here. So that'll be step one on the base. Okay, first of all, there's 2 types of caster bolts. This is called the long caster bolt, and this is the short caster bolt. And this one has a beveled edge on it that will fit into this beveled area here. The other sections don't have the bevel, so there's 8 of those bolts. So we'll get these first casters on. There are also 2 sizes of casters. There's a small caster, 2 small casters, 4 large casters. The large casters go at the rear of the equipment, and the 2 small casters go up here, and then the other 2 large casters will go on the extension arms for the legs. Okay, the first 2 casters are on. It's a 14mm nut for the small casters and the small caster bolts and nut sets. Alright, so these larger ones are taking a socket to the top and a opening, a closed into the inside. That is a 14 millimeter nut and bolt. Okay. Alright, step 1 and step 2 are complete. And there looks like there's 10 steps altogether. The next step is to put the large casters here onto the each of the legs that attaches in here. Alright, these are the 2 longer legs, and here is all the caster hardware. So this will be step number 3. Alright, step 3 complete. Step 4 now is to slide these long legs into the base where we already put the other 4 casters, and then securing it with these pins and then these lock pins here, what they're calling a R pin. Make sure that these are secure before we go on and attach the boom, not the boom, yeah, the first part of the boom. Alright, step 4 is complete. The long extension legs are in place, held by these 2 pins. The R-clips go to the inside, and the rings on the clips go to the outside. Alright, end of step 4. Now we'll set it down on the ground and then start working on the boom. Alright, the boom sits on right there. I used the bolt chart on the instructions to make sure I had the right bolts, and it has a bolt head up here of 21, but below the nut is a 22. So if you don't have a 22 wrench or something else to hold that, get that before you get started. So I used this bolt identification chart in the book, and so the ones that said they were 16 millimeter, they're talking about this distance here, not any bolt or head size. So I made sure that that wouldn't fit through a 14 millimeter and would fit through a 16, so I know this is a 16 millimeter. And then there's only 2 16 millimeter 100s, and then there's these 60 millimeter 110s, which are the 2 longest ones. And then this is the top ram bolt, I believe, and I believe this is the, there's still a long one here somewhere that is the hinge bolt, but it's a 16 millimeter. This is a 14 millimeter, so that's the boom bolt here. Alright, well, we'll get started. I'm going to put this part on. These are the 2 supports, and it takes 2 of the hinge bolts, which I have identified here. The 2 longest ones are hinge bolts. Use 2 frame bolts, okay, so that's what I'm looking for. These are the hinge bolts, and I have the 2 16 by 100 millimeter frame bolts here. These are the same size, and they're shorter than these, so these have to be the 110, and these are the 100s. Okay, well, it turns out, not looking properly at the instructions, I put this first part of the boom on backwards. It's supposed to face this way, So I've got to take it off and turn it around. I noticed it when I was trying to put the support on that it wasn't reaching. So it's got to be, and I looked at the instructions again, so it's got to go on the other way. Alright, now it's on the right way. And the two supports are on. That's the end of step 7. So the next thing is to attach that boom that's laying right there. Right there. And that uses the second hinge bolt. The hinge bolt is a 22 millimeter, and the nut is also a 22 millimeter. Just a second ago I said that the hinge bolts were 22 millimeter, but they're actually 24 millimeter nut and bolt. 24 millimeter. Alright, now the ram, the hydraulic ram is installed. The lower ram bolt, the upper ram bolt, both 24 millimeters. Next I'm going to put the boom extension in, and then I'll probably fold it up and put it away for tonight. So total time of install, 2 hours, one person. In order to fold it up, remove the R pin from the front 2 pins, remove those pins, lift it up, and then you can reinsert the pins to hold the arms in place. So I'll have a picture of that in just a second once I get them folded up. So there is the 1-ton folding shop crane, folded up. You put the pins in place to hold the leg here. So that's the Harbor Freight 1-ton folding shop crane. Now we can use this to lift the transmission into the Corolla that we're working on. And again, thanks for watching.